Welcome to this masterclass. Today, we're doing something really important. We're completely redefining an industry. We are moving way beyond this outdated idea that commercial cleaning is just some basic, reactive, everyday chore. Instead, we're looking at it for what it truly is, a highly structured, compliance-driven operational discipline, one that is absolutely crucial for protecting public health, preserving facility assets, and ensuring strict safety standards. If you manage a facility or run a cleaning operation, get ready, because this masterclass is going to completely shift your operational paradigm.
Here is how we are breaking things down today. First, we'll cover the foundations of facility hygiene. Second, chemical safety and compliance. Third, standard operating procedures. Fourth, professional operational workflows. And finally, quality assurance and training.
Let's jump right into Part 1, Foundations of Facility Hygiene. So, let me ask you a question. What is the actual difference between cleaning and disinfecting? It sounds basic, right? But believe me, this is exactly where amateur cleaning operations completely fall apart. People assume these two terms are just interchangeable, but they absolutely are not. Understanding this core distinction is a real game changer. Cleaning, that is strictly the physical removal of visible soil, dirt, and debris. It really just makes the surface look nice. Disinfecting, on the other hand, is the active scientific process of killing invisible pathogens. It's actively managing environmental hygiene. You see, professional cleaners don't just make things look pretty, they are literally frontline defenders neutralizing invisible health risks. Let's look at the real-world stakes of getting that distinction wrong. Think about a corporate office dealing with repeated employee infection outbreaks. When investigators audit facilities like this, the failures almost always boil down to amateur habits. We're talking about reusable cloths spreading germs from room to room, incorrect chemical dilution rates that essentially render disinfectants completely useless, and totally neglected high touch points like door handles and light switches. That is the harsh operational reality of failing to systematically disinfect.
And to properly remove different types of soil, you actually have to understand the chemistry of cleaning. It's like a giant puzzle where specific contaminants require precise chemical reactions based on the pH scale. For instance, you can't just use a neutral, everyday cleaner to dissolve hard water scale or mineral buildup. You need an acidic chemical in the 0 to 6 pH range. Conversely, if you're tackling heavy grease and oils, say in a commercial kitchen, you have to use an alkaline degreaser sitting in that 8 to 14 range. Using the wrong chemical doesn't just fail to clean the surface, it wastes valuable labor and can actually cause permanent damage to your assets.
Moving right along to Section 2, Chemical Safety and Compliance.
Now, we have to talk about the absolute liability involved in professional cleaning. Take a look at this number, $165,514. As of January 2026, that is the maximum OSHA penalty for a single, willful, or repeated safety violation. Non-compliance isn't just some theoretical risk. It is a massive, real-world financial and legal exposure for both the cleaning provider and the facility manager.
A huge part of that compliance comes down to personal protective equipment, or PPE. Under OSHA Standard 1910.132, PPE requirements have to be mapped directly to the specific hazard profile of the exact task at hand. So, a worker doing general surface cleaning, they might only need nitrile or latex gloves. But if they're stripping floors with harsh chemicals, the standard legally mandates chemical-resistant gloves, eye protection, and slip-resistant footwear. Dealing with bloodborne pathogens, you immediately escalate to full body covering, nitrile gloves, eye protection, and fluid-resistant masks. Precision in safety is absolutely non-negotiable. Furthermore, true environmental compliance relies on executing correct scientific processes. Take the concept of dwell time. This is a massive one. Dwell time is the required duration an EPA-registered chemical must remain visibly wet on a surface to actually break down bacterial cell walls. If someone sprays a desk and immediately wipes it dry, they haven't disinfected a single thing. They've just moved wet germs around. The chemical literally has to sit there for its required dwell time to actually neutralize those pathogens.
All right, Section 3, Standard Operating Procedures.
This brings us to the core philosophy of premium commercial cleaning management. Seasoned professionals do not guess, they systematize the work. Documented structures are the absolute only way to prevent worker performance from varying wildly from room to room or day to day.
To really ground this, let's analyze a real-world institutional standard operating procedure, or SOP. Take this document from Jitmar Hospital, outlining strict procedures for cleaning floors and bathrooms. Notice how it removes all the guesswork. It mandates checking precautions before cleaning, gathering exact materials, and explicitly lists the required PPE. It even dictates exact physical movements, like progressing from the least soiled to the most soiled areas, and specifying the use of a dust control mop without lifting it off the ground, just to minimize air turbulence. That is exactly what operational discipline looks like on paper.
So if you're building your own framework, here is the anatomy of a perfect SOP. It absolutely must include clear task descriptions and zone mapping. It has to explicitly state chemical dilution ratios and required dwell times. It must mandate safety protocols and PPE. It needs step-by-step execution procedures, and finally, it has to tie directly into quality assurance and inspection standards. Without these elements fully documented, you don't have a system. You literally just have people cleaning based on their own personal habits.
Let's head into Section 4. Professional operational workflows. Now we are shifting from the paperwork to the actual physical execution of the job. Professional workflow is governed by a very strict spatial logic. Step 1 is always clean to dirty. You tackle pristine areas first and move towards soiled areas to prevent the backward drag of contamination. Step 2 is high to low, meaning you dust top surfaces before vacuuming floors. Why? Because gravity pulls dust downward. Doing it the other way around ruins your freshly cleaned floor. Step 3 is inward to outward, working from the back of the room toward the exit. These specific, deliberate sequences optimize labor efficiency and guarantee a true sanitary baseline.
Another massive operational upgrade is implementing a professional color coding methodology. This maps specific colored cloths and mops to specific risk zones. For example, red is strictly for high-risk areas like restrooms and toilets. Yellow is for infectious risk zones or clinical areas. Green is mapped to food service and kitchens, while blue is for general office spaces and glass. This is such a powerful visual failsafe. An employee following this system will never accidentally use a restroom cloth on a break room counter. It completely eliminates cross-contamination.
Finally, Section 5. Quality assurance and training.
How do top-tier organizations actually maintain these rigorous standards over the long haul? The answer is a comprehensive, continuous training framework. Premium organizations implement strict onboarding before any independent work even begins. They exhaustively train on OSHA HAZCOM and bloodborne pathogen standards. They conduct hands-on technical skills and chemical dilution training to make sure workers know exactly what they're doing. And then they close the loop by performing regular quality inspections based on objective scoring criteria. That's how you build a highly competent, confident team that consistently meets EPA and facility standards.
To summarize the core thesis of this masterclass, a professional cleaning operation is not simply cleaning activity. It is a controlled operational system built around efficiency, hygiene, repeatability, and risk reduction. Premium facility management requires relentless, uncompromising operational discipline.
So I want to leave you with a high-value question to help you audit your own environment. Is your facility relying on the guesswork of amateur cleaning? Or are you executing a systematized, compliance-driven operational discipline? I challenge you to take these frameworks, implement these professional standards, and elevate your operational systems today. Thank you for joining this masterclass.